All right, good morning traders. This is Bruce at Bookmap. Welcome to the Bookmap Platform Details webinar. Risk disclaimer, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so what we're gonna cover in the webinar is we're gonna define Bookmap, understand how it connects to the markets, which markets it connects to, and then how you can get Bookmap, and then we'll look at some of the basic elements in the Bookmap chart and start to define the order flow. Okay, some of the basic order flow and the what Bookmap is uncovering through its visualization, and then how to take advantage of that. Okay, now when you subscribe to Bookmap, it comes with education. There's a 4-part educational course, and it is always available online. Every day we go through the same course content, but we do it in the live market. So you can see it for yourself. And due to our analysis, we anticipate future price movement from what we see in the visualization and the order flow. Okay, so that's the education that comes along with Bookmap. And that advanced webinar starts at 11 a.m. Every day and following this webinar. Okay, so ask questions, begin to understand and absorb really what's going on in the order flow, and start to integrate it into your trading methodologies. Okay, so let's jump over to the website here, and just a moment. All right, oops. Okay, and we'll just scroll down here. This is our new website. So we'll define Bookmap. What is it right here? We are a trading platform, okay? Just like any other platform out there. We just have a unique way of visualizing the market, okay? So let's scroll down a bit further. Who uses Bookmap? From day traders, scalpers, swing traders, to quants, and those trading algorithmically, okay? All of them use it. Higher time frames, lower time frames, extremely low time frames as well, those HFT guys. That's actually how Bookmap was developed, to display very precise data like that. Then you can read more about how you get the edge here using Bookmap. Okay, so through the heat map, the volume, very precise volume, proprietary indicators, automated strategies, etc. A bit further down, connectivity. So this is where we'll stop, and we've defined what Bookmap is. These are the 3 different markets Bookmap connects to: futures, US equities, and digital currencies. Okay, now since we're a platform, we're not a data provider, nor are we a broker. Okay, so for futures and for US equities, you will need to provide the data. Okay, now for digital currencies, the data is free. Okay, through GDAX exchange, and very soon, well, I think even maybe it's available now. I need to check with support or development. BitMEX, Bitfinex, and OKCoin as well. If it's not available now, it will be shortly. Okay, let's take a look at the different ways that we connect Bookmap here. Okay, so for US equities, you use DX feed. That's the only way that you connect to US equities now with Bookmap. And then for futures, okay, there's all sorts of different ways. Rhythmic through TT, CQG, Gain Capital, NinjaTrader, Transact, IQ feed, Interactive Brokers, Stage 5 offers all of those, Nanotick, and Cedro, okay, for the Brazilian market. Anyway, you can see that there's some platforms listed here like TT, Interactive Brokers, Traders Workstation, and NinjaTrader. Okay, you can connect via the API of these 3 different platforms if you prefer. Okay, however, we recommend connecting directly to the data provider, just like you would any other platform. It's better. Okay, you're going to get cleaner data. It won't have to go through an API, anyway, that's best way to connect. That's for the futures data. We went over US equities, and then we also went over digital currencies. Okay, so those connections are free. If you need a trial of data, you can click here and get a trial of various different data feeds. Okay, a bit further down, let's go through some of the packages that are available here. You can see that you can subscribe yearly or click here and go monthly. Okay, and we have digital versions and global versions. Okay, the distinction here, digital is for the digital currencies only. Global is for all the markets. Okay, US equities, futures, and digital currencies. Okay, that's the big distinction. Now you can see the digital version here is free. Okay, you only get access to one digital currency at a time. That's it. All right, so that's the limitation. You get the only basic education and you get limited support. Okay, basic education is this webinar and the videos on our YouTube page I'll go over in just a minute. Okay, now the Digital Plus version, what you get is access to unlimited or whatever the exchange or brokerage allows for digital currencies. Okay, multiple instruments. You get the advanced education that I mentioned earlier. You get full support, and you can record and replay your data here. All right, so that's what you get. Oh, and you can also trade right from the Bookmap chart into your GDAX and BitMEX account. Okay. Now, the global version over here, the only distinction between that and Digital Plus is the ability to connect to futures and US equities. Okay? It includes everything else in Digital Plus. All right, and for the Global Plus version, it includes everything in global. And in addition, you get our add-on indicators that are listed here. Okay, one is the ability to trade right from the Bookmap chart into a live account. Okay, a large lot tracker. These are proprietary indicators designed specifically for understanding order flow phenomena. For example, understanding the larger players in the book. Who's holding the majority of the liquidity? That's important to understand, and our algo can detect that. We have some imbalance indicators for both the book and volume. We have an iceberg detector, a new one that detects where larger players are hiding their high liquidity. They don't want to show their high liquidity. Okay, so some game playing going on there. And then a correlation tracker, so adding different markets onto the Bookmap chart. Let's see, Sam, you have a question on time slices. Is 60 the highest? Oh, okay. Good question, Sam. Actually, there might be some confusion there on some of the time slices. So let me answer this really quickly, and I'll get back to Bookmap website and social media, because I just want to show you guys where you can find the videos, etc. All right, so here's the time slices up here, right? And if you click 60 minutes, what it does, okay, is within this viewable range, you have 60 minutes of data. So your 60-minute candle will be equal to what you see within this viewable range, right? That's how it works. But all you have to do though is, and I never use this, to be honest. Unless I want to demo something or study something very, very specific, then I'll use that for a kind of understanding a range of 5 minutes. So what I usually do though, Sam, is I just zoom in and out with my center mouse wheel, okay, very, very quickly, right? So I never even have to use the time slices, right? I'm looking for, we're recording every single market event here. It is time-based, but it's down to nanosecond level. So I mean, every single event's going to be recorded here. So what matters to me is the order flow. Okay. Now there's other traders that they just want to understand that 60 minutes worth of data. Okay, in order to draw a long-term trend line, just zoom out. Okay, you can use the zoom tools up here as well, right? Or just use your center mouse wheel. That's the quickest. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now if you're asking about the historical data, okay, so Well, when you open up Bookmap, you start collecting data. Okay, for futures markets and for equities, you get 1 hour of data for free. Actually, I think you get 24 hours for free from the US equities. Okay, up to 1 hour for free of historical data. Okay, and that's it. That's all you get. You can subscribe to more if you want, but I think it's about 14 bucks a month, and you can get up to I think a day or two worth of historical data. Okay, so then you can draw and then zoom out with your center mouse wheel, and you have all that data to draw your trend lines, etc. Okay. All right. Good question. All right, so I've gone over the different packages. You can click on this link here if you want to look at the kind of overall drill down here of what each one offers and doesn't. Okay, and let's go over to Twitter and all sorts of stuff here at bookmap_pro. That's our Twitter handle, and yeah, you can see that we have pretty active here. Lots of different things that daily activity, interviews with traders, other technical things here, and updates about API level 0 for connecting to BitMEX, etc. So this is a really how you kind of keep up with the latest here, and let's see here. In fact, I just put in order flow dynamics here and retweeting a specific data here for trade setups and other phenomena that we see. Okay, and then let's go over the videos here on our YouTube page. All right, so here. On the home page here, let's just go over some of the playlists that you see. Bookmap intro videos here, click on this playlist if you're new here and you want to understand some of the basics. Okay, features and components, all the different features. Okay, and then order flow video snippets. I recommend watching these and understanding the order flow phenomena that Bookmap visualizes. This is what's going to help you with your trading. Okay, very concise, short videos that go over the concepts. These are the kinds of concepts that we go over in detail in the advanced order flow webinars that you get with the advanced education. Okay, we go for about an hour in those webinars. Okay, so it's a good dive into understanding liquidity and the aggressor volume and the context of them in the order flow. All right, that's pretty much everything there. Let's jump into Bookmap and take a look here. What's going on? All right, well, NASDAQ, big day yesterday, big trending day. That was noted in our Twitter as well. And now we can, overnight session 2 was pretty bullish here. And then here's our 9:30 open, quick spike to the upside, did not accept whatsoever, and it fell right back down. Okay, anyway, for those of you looking at at this chart, you're probably wondering what these elements are. You've probably never seen something quite like this before, and maybe it looks really complex. It's not. It's actually very straightforward data, and there's truly, I mean, we have all these different add-ons here as well, but truly just 3 elements on the chart. Okay, let me show a candlestick chart. We haven't gone through this one in quite a while. I'm going to take those 3 elements off the chart, and we're going to just look at a basic candlestick chart. I'm going to take all the add-on indicators. We have iceberg detector, historical VWAP, and the cumulative volume delta, and our point of control here as well. I'm going to take that off. Okay. There we go. Now, this is a view we're very accustomed to. Okay, this is a 5-minute candlestick chart. Right, 5 minutes of data here within a bar. Open, high, low, and close. 4 data points per candle. That's all you're getting here. Right, and I like candlestick charts. I have nothing against them. I think they're good for aggregated data on higher time frames, but we want to know the details here. Okay, and we want to know who's in control here. Okay, even on higher time frames, you can understand the order flow because of the way that we visualize it here. Anyway, the problem here is this aggregation. Okay, it's within a 5-minute period. What happened within it? We're completely closed off from data inside here. Okay, so we want to know microstructural areas here. We want to know precisely where the volume traded, how much, what type, etc. Okay, we don't even have the information about where they're bidding and offering here in the order book. Okay, you'd be looking at your DOM for that information. Okay, so that's a 5-minute candlestick chart, and that's the limitation of it. Okay, so we can very easily start to break down that limitation by just adding a very simple element. This is the first element on that Bookmap chart, and that's just historical best bid and offer. Okay, what this allows you to do is see the microstructural areas here. Okay, you can see all sorts of things here. So for example, this would be a structure up here. Okay, note how it was broken and note the retracement right to where it traded from or broke down from. Okay, you don't even see that in the candlestick chart. That information is lost in the candlestick chart. Here's where it broke down. And in fact, we can even see here, okay, another structural element, and look where it broke down again here. Okay, and look at the retests back here and here and here. Okay, it accepted lower, right? And it retested the low here and it broke down. Okay, so we're seeing this isn't even really that microstructural. Microstructural would be something like this little double bottom, this little consolidation period, and then the move back up. Retest the bottom here, we have a bigger double bottom, and we're back up, okay, accepting in this area now here, right? So that's just by understanding the historical best bid and offer in microstructure. Okay, now let's get more precise and let's show the volume. Okay, and here's what happened really within those 5-minute periods. Okay, this is the volume that traded on the historical best bid and offer. And let's zoom into an area here. Let's zoom into the low down here and just look at this back and forth here. Okay, so this is the second element on the Bookmap chart, is the volume. Okay, very precisely recorded, more precise than a footprint chart in the sense that now you can see the speed of moves, how quickly they moved. It's all recorded here. You can see areas of micro structural consolidations and breakouts. Okay, you can see exhaustion very clearly, like up here a couple times. You can see exhaustion on the bottom here. And then let's zoom in more and let's just get into some of the details here. Okay, this is it. These are those two elements. Historical best offer, red line, best bid is the green line. The volume that traded here, this is the aggressor on the sell side, the market sell orders. If you want the precise data, use the data tip tool and you can hover over and we get the date, the very precise time that this traded, okay, down to nanosecond levels. And then what was on the bid here, and then how much traded. Okay, so a volume of 5 traded here. Okay, if we can zoom into this, and we'll probably see more transactions take place. Yep. Okay, so that little cluster of 5, here's truly what happened. Okay, we're down at microsecond level now. Yeah, and we can see that it's actually each transaction that took place, there was 5 for a volume of 1 each. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, that's truly what happened here, right? And now you can start to understand some of the algorithmic activity in some of these areas here. Now, we don't trade at those microsecond levels or nanosecond levels, okay? But when we zoom back out, see how we've consolidated or just visually aggregated that into a bigger dot, okay? But all the information is still there, every single event. That's how we're recording the volume and the best bid and offer. All right, so that's the second element on the Bookmap chart. The third and final element on the Bookmap chart is the heat map, okay? And this is the unique, well, the way we're displaying the volume and microstructure is quite unique as well. No question about it, but the heat map is very unique, Okay. In fact, let's take the candlestick chart off here. Just always ends up kind of getting in the way. How do I synchronize? Let's see, Sam. Good question, Sam. How do I synchronize a chart to other correlated markets? Okay. You will need the Global Plus version for that. Well, not sure what. Let me go over the add-on setting here. Okay. So this is for studies configuration. Click on that, and then you'll have access with the Global Plus to the correlation tracker. Okay, you can add another market on here. So I can add the bonds here, and then here it is. Okay, so and we zoom out, so we can see the bonds in relationship here. They're just going sideways in relationship to the NASDAQ. Okay, that's one thing. I'm not sure if you're asking about that, Sam. So let's turn that off, and let's get into the being able to synchronize these charts together. Okay, and boy, I haven't looked at that feature in quite a while. Let's see here. It's this here. Okay, and what you can do, and we're going to have to kind of move things around a bit. Okay, we're going to open up two Bookmap charts here. Okay, we're going to look at oil as well. And we can double click on this tab here and it'll pop out another Bookmap chart. Okay, and then we're going to add this down below. Okay, and to try to line this up. And I'm just going to line it up because I want to show you the synchronization here. Okay, and then we'll click on this chart here and go to NASDAQ, right? Oh, this is the wrong, oh shoot. That's okay. I need to get rid of, this is the wrong month here. We're now on the U contract in crude. Nonetheless, just to show this synchronization, you can see that I'm way zoomed out here on NASDAQ, and I'm zoomed pretty far in, pretty close in here on the crude. So they're not synchronized together. Okay, so you can synchronize them though. If I click on this chart here, okay, the NASDAQ, it's my master chart, and then I'm going to synchronize here. Click on that. Okay, and then you'll see, look how crude now is synchronized to the same time frames as my NASDAQ. Okay, so that's how you do it. All right, and we can even, when you start to zoom in here, you'll see the same zoom on your NASDAQ, on your crude. Okay, and you can match these up very precisely if you want as well to show every single minute and compare each minute to minute here. All right, so anyway, that's how you do that. Okay, and we'll close that up. Okay, really haven't gone over the heat map here, the most important element, and I'll only have a few minutes before the advanced order flow webinar. Okay, so just want to remind you guys, for the advanced order flow webinar, it's open to everybody on Friday. Okay, I give out the link so that you guys can get a feel for what goes on in those webinars. But let's define here what the heat map is, and then we'll call it a day here. One thing, I'll just a little bit of order flow analysis here, looking at the NASDAQ. From the structural elements that we saw just with the best bid and offer, okay, and that acceptance up here, look at the volume starting to trade up here. Okay, now we just need to get a little bit higher and a little more volume, and we should get a breakout. Okay, it looks pretty strong. Let's see if we can break out and above the figure here of 7,400. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Right, you can even see on the bid here, but they're hesitant. You can see the traders are hesitant to lift the offer here. So that's scenario one. Scenario two would be, what if we get exhaustion up here? And we can see a little bit of it right here and here. Okay, we don't see much trading up here. Okay, in fact, actually that scenario looks pretty good, to be honest. I'm not seeing a lot of trading here. There's a little bit here and there's some here, so it's not bad. So maybe we're just going to go back and forth here for a bit. But let's say there was less buying up here. Okay. Well, the scenario is more likely then that this little breakout above this range here, it's going to kind of pop above the range. It's not going to accept, is going to reject, and it's going to come right back down into the middle of the range. And there'll be a fight at the point of control. Sellers will try to take it below that point of control and try to get to the other side of the range. Okay, that would be a likely scenario. It's also possible that you get down to that point of control and you find buyers again too. Okay? So that's another possible scenario, but we need to see how that develops. Okay? And then the third and final, well, it could be other scenarios here. The other scenario would be that we come back up, revisit 99 here with some size. And that's actually starting to play out right here. Okay, let's see a little bit more. We need a little bit more, a little bit higher, and then we can pop through the figure here at 7,400. Okay, so it really is kind of back and forth. The read here by the volume and the liquidity, the context of the two together. It looks like not so sure actually. I liked the micro or the structures here on a higher time frame as well, but we still need to see a bit more commitment for the aggressor here for that breakout. Anyway. The heat map, just to define it really quickly for you guys. I'm sorry, great questions, and that's what the webinar is for. But let's just cover what the heat map is, and we can always go over it another time. All right. So what the heat map is just derived from the dome, your depth of market. Okay. Everything to the left of this vertical white line is historical. Here comes our breakout, right? And we need to see it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it. Like we're seeing the volume here, but we're not seeing the move though. See, we only went up like a point or even less than that. We need to see the volume here and the move. But the volume is looking pretty good. Okay, so if it does not accept here, then it's going to break down. Sellers are going to jump in and they're going to try to get volume down below the swing here at 96.5 here. Anyway, the heat map is derived from your depth of market. It's when you see the dome here, the COB column, current order book, these are contracts. Okay, this is liquidity. Traders lined up to sell in these areas above price. Traders lined up to buy below current price. Okay, that's your dome. And we take the areas of high liquidity and paint them in a heat map here in this current market window. So this is our current best bid and offer. And then you can see 45 contracts here, the highest in the book right now, okay, in the visible book, right? So at 74.01. All right, so down here on the bid, we have 41 at 73.90, okay? So you can adjust the heat map to, give further, here, like to give further detail, to what's going on in that heat map or not, okay? And all right, well, here's that scenario that's playing out. Anyway, let me cover the heat map and then I'll cover the scenario and then I've got to run. So we take the data here. It's a graphical representation of the liquidity, but then it's projected on the chart historically. So now you can see the auction, where they're bidding and offering. Okay, so you can use your dome now for current and recent historical market, but you can zoom out and you can use it for much higher time frames. Okay, now we can start to understand what's going on up in some of these areas, why price is breaking down, where they're bidding, where they're offering, etc. Okay, so the scenario that played out here, the volume started to look pretty good, but it was only like a point worth to the figure here, and it came back into the range here. And what we were saying below this kind of swing, we wanted 96, 96 and a half if there was going to be some sellers, and you can see that they did come in here, okay, and they're driving it lower, okay, to the other side of the range here. Look for the swing down. Yeah, I mean, we already came down here. We already came down here. I'm looking for it to go a little bit lower though, 91 and then 89, just other side of the range here. But here's where the heat map helps you. right? Right here, okay? And the historical heat map. Look at them bid it up, okay? They're interested in buying. They're interested in buying at a higher level now too, okay? They haven't even been tested yet, but it's affecting price, okay? The bid here is affecting price, right? Look how they jumped in here and we found the aggressor. Anyway, it's time to go. Sorry to run a little bit over. If you're signed up for the next webinar, we'll see you over there, and have a good day. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.